So what is a commodity? So a commodity, think of it like going to the shops and you buy, say, sugar or rice or some tea. So all these are things, think of these like a basket of goods that you go to the shop and buy. So these are like, you can invest in commodities as well. So I talk about my football formation, asset allocation, and a commodity is the left winger of that football team analogy. But we're going to go into actually what is a commodity today. So a commodity is the use value, what it's actually used for, and then so it's two things. So it's use value, so what it's actually used for, and also the price value in the market. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is supply and demand. So we talked previously about Adam Smith and the book The Wealth of Nations. That's essentially like the book. Adam Smith's like the godfather of capitalism, and we talk about the laws of supply and demand and how commodities are affected by that. And we also talk about the utility. So what is it actually used for? So how useful is this thing that we're investing in? So coming back to so the commodity example. So first of all, so what is it used for? So this is tea. So tea, for your morning cup of tea, everyone enjoys a cup of tea, but this travels all the way from wherever it's grown to India or whatever, China or wherever it's grown. So the difference between a commodity and, say, a company or a brand. So the tea itself is actually a commodity. So think, or like the sugar itself. There's no kind of it's just the raw material essentially, and then once you have a company takes that raw material, like this tea company is called Tetley, it's got a nice little kind of image of a cartoon character, and it makes it like a brand, and brand is like a business, and the good thing about brand is you trust. Brand brings kind of trust, so if you buy this packet of tea, for instance, you can trust that this brand will provide the same quality of tea over and over again. But the commodity itself is just, it can be anything, but it's just the physical thing that you're buying. So I think that like shopping, you go shopping and you put things into a basket like tea or bananas or that actual physical product, whereas the business behind it is the kind of the brand, and they would advertise their brand is better than one brand might kind of position themselves as a higher quality brand of tea. Perhaps they might be ethically sourced, or they might be, treat their employees better, so they might charge a higher price for that brand compared to another brand essentially using the same commodity and position themselves differently. So this is the use value, what it's actually used for, and then the price in the market. So the price in the market can actually fluctuate day to day. So if, say, it's been a drought in where it's grown, for instance, at India, then there'd be less supply, and then the same demand will be there, so the price would go up. So you can use this in your portfolio. It's maybe a bit more advanced than kind of the other strategy we talked about, but it's good to have. This is building a diverse portfolio around what's good for you. So that's essentially what commodity is, number one. So number two is a supply and demand. So these are all bought and sourced somewhere. So the rules of law of demand supply, as Adam Smith talks about. So I used to trade gas. So gas, as you'd go and turn that your heating on in the winter, that the gas itself is the commodity. So these are kind of dependent on the laws of supply and demand. So in the winter, when it's much colder, more people turn their central heating up, and that increases the demand of that same supply of the same supply. That the demand is higher because more people turn their gas up. Although on the flip side, in the summer, because it's kind of warm, less people turn their central heating on to use that gas supply. So there's much less demand in the summer. So prices fluctuate depending on this. And so traders, what I used to do is, you can trade on the back of knowing this supply and demand. If you knew, say, a power source, supply source was going to be turned off or was going to be disrupted, then that supply would be reduced, the same demand would be there, and the price would go up. So you can use this, knowledge of this can help you build your portfolio. And the third what we come to is the utility. So what is it actually used for? So we're talking about day-to-day sugar, tea, what is it useful for? Then also things like gold. So gold is, say it's like a hedge against volatility. So gold does really well in downturns because people want that physical gold that they can kind of buy, they can use it. So gold will move in proportionally to the stock market. So look at 2008, the stock market was moving up, and then in 2008 there was a crash. So the price of that stock, all those, the FTSE 100, the 100 biggest stocks,